When I was a kid, maybe 8 or 9, I had a friend that lived a couple doors down. We'll call her Kat. So Kat and I used to hang out all of the time, and we especially loved going to the creek behind our house. We liked going to this creek because of the movie Bridge to Terabithia, and we loved acting like we were in the movie and everything. Well, my dad was also very aware of this movie, and one day after crying and watching this movie and just kind of feeling awkward about the whole situation, he turned to me and he was like, "Taylor, you are forbidden to go to the creek behind our house." And I was like, "Dad, take a chill pill, I will never disobey you." Well, a couple of weeks later, I was at Kat's house and Kat was like, "Taylor, we need to go to the creek. I need to show you something." And I can't tell you what that thing was, but I was like, "Nah, I'm not going." Like, my dad said no. She's like, "What does your dad know? We've been there a million times. Like, he's never even been there." And I was like, "You know what, girl, you're right." So we went. And we spent hours there. We spent hours swinging on the branch, specifically me, and we were exploring. And then finally, the sun was going down, and I was like, "Whoa, I gotta go home." Well, as we were climbing out of the creek, I noticed my parents were at the cars at my house shouting at each other. And then suddenly, they looked at me and they started running. Eventually, they scooped me up. They were crying. They were like, "Taylor, where were you?" And apparently, they were canvassing around the whole neighborhood, and they thought I was missing. And I was like, "Oh, I'm right here, Well, after the initial shock, they grounded me for a long time. They told me if I ever went to the creek again, they would take all my toys away. And I was like, I have to obey, like, I can't have my toys taken away. And I was especially not to see Kat. Well, I stayed true to my word. And 2 months later, I heard through the grapevine that while she was at the creek swinging on the branch broke and she fell on a huge rock and broke her arm. And I was like, what? Like, that could have totally been me. My parents knew that could have been me. Like, Kat always put me on that branch and she never wanted to swing on her own. Well, from that moment on, with my parents in mind, I never disobeyed them ever again, and I trusted them completely.